Check on করে।
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as we will begin shortly, may I kindly request all of you joining us today to please take your seats for the opening of the session. Thank you. I'll just repeat myself. Yeah, I can see they're getting them into the room. As we will begin shortly, may I kindly request all delegates joining us today to please take your seats for the opening of the session. Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as we will begin shortly, please take your seats for the opening of the session. Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, good morning and welcome to the third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. Please join me in welcoming our special guests now entering the room. Ms. Amida Salsia Alice-Jabana, Under-Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of ESCAP. Ms. Hai Kyung-jan, Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, one of our co-organizing partners. And Mr. Subin Lal Mulmi from Nationality for All, representing civil society organizations. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it's a great pleasure and privilege to have you join us for the third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. My name is Rikke Hansen. I'm the Chief of Economic and Environment Statistics in the Statistics Division here at ESCAP, and it is my great honor to be your MC for this event. Please note that simultaneous interpretation is provided by the United Nations to facilitate communication in recognition of its 6 official languages, 4 of which are used here at ESCAP. This event is being webcast and real-time AI captioning is also provided. Delegates are encouraged to register their intention to intervene prior to the beginning of an agenda item. You may do so with the Secretariat at the conference office desk located on your left using the provided forms. Delegates who register their intention to speak prior to the beginning of the agenda item will be given priority. Thank you for your kind attention. I am now delighted to invite Ms. Amida Salsia Alice-Jabana, Under Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of ESCAP, to deliver her welcoming remarks. Madam Executive Secretary, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to welcome you to the senior official segment of the third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. Civil registration, especially birth registration, is far more than an administrative task. It is the declaration of existence, the first legal recognition of a person's life. Without it, a child may be denied access to school, healthcare, and legal protection. Without it, millions remain invisible, unable to fully participate in society. 10 years ago, during the first Ministerial Conference in 2014, we made a momentous commitment by adopting the Ministerial Declaration to get everyone in the picture. This marked the beginning of the Asian Pacific Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Decade. Our shared vision was clear. By 2024, every person in Asia and Pacific would benefit from universal and responsive civil registration and vital statistics systems that support rights, governance, health, and development. Today, we reflect on that journey, and we have much to celebrate. Over the past 5 years, countries across Asia and Pacific have made tremendous strides in registering more births and deaths. This progress goes beyond registering numbers. It is about using this information to inform policies, shape services, and improve lives. Yet, while the gains are significant, the journey has not been uniform. Some countries have surged ahead, while others continue to face complex challenges. Over the next few days, we will take a closer look at this journey, guided by the newly released 2025 Asia-Pacific Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Progress Report. This report captures progress made by 50 members and associate members of the Commission, spotlighting both the successes and the work still to be done. Much of this progress has been guided by the Regional Steering Group for CRVS in Asia and the Pacific, a group that has consistently met, collaborated, and led efforts since the launch of the CRVS decade. Their leadership has helped turn the Regional Action Framework for CRVS into meaningful, country-level change. But they have not done this alone. The Asia-Pacific CRVS partnership of more than 20 development partners has provided vital support at the national, sub-regional, as well as regional levels. Together, we have built something remarkable. Through this partnership, we have launched sub-regional networks of civil registrars, rolled out CRVS applied research training, and convened the first ever Asia-Pacific CRVS Research Forum. These efforts have placed our region at the forefront of global learning on what truly works in CRVS. ESCAP and development partners have provided extensive technical support throughout the CRVS decade, but crucially, it has been led by countries themselves through national multi-sectoral strategies and strong coordination mechanisms. Today, we stand on the shoulders of that work. We have built a strong institutional foundation from local systems to national, sub-regional, and regional levels. that is driving the transformation we now see in the progress report. These achievements are the result of your leadership, your resolve, and your shared belief in the power of systems that leave no one behind. But our work is far from over. While some countries have made remarkable advancement, others continue to grapple with deep institutional as well as structural challenges. The pandemic highlighted these disparities and underscores the urgent need for digital innovation, stronger cross-sectoral coordination, and targeted efforts to reach the most marginalized groups, ensuring that no one is left behind. The past decade has demonstrated the incredible achievement we can accomplish when we work together with a common purpose and unwavering determination. May the next 5 years be characterized by our collective resolve to ensure we get everyone in the picture. Let us use this conference to reaffirm our commitment, learn from each other, and chart a bold path forward, a path where every birth is registered, every death is recorded, and every person is seen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Executive Secretary, for those inspiring remarks. May I now invite Ms. Hai Kyung-jan, Regional Director for Asia and the Pacific, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, to deliver her remarks. UNHCR is one of the co-organizers of this ministerial conference. Madam, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Hansen. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to join at the third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. I extend my sincere thanks to ESCAP and the Executive Secretary for her remarks and co-organizing this important gathering. Over the past decade, we witnessed remarkable progress in building inclusive and accessible CRVS systems across the region, and I thank you all for your commitment to this effort. These systems are especially vital for the 17 million forcibly displaced and stateless individuals under UNHCR mandate in Asia and the Pacific. And I have witnessed this myself working across the region, so thank you for your efforts. For the people we serve, civil documentation is more than a legal formality. It is a lifeline. Marriage, divorce, and death certificates are essential for protecting their rights, especially for widowed or separated women, ensuring access to property, inheritance, child custody, and the ability to remarry. As the Executive Secretary noted, birth registration is equally critical. It prevents family separation, protects against child marriage, child labor and recruitment, and provides a safeguard against statelessness by establishing a child's identity and origins. The UN Secretary General's 2018 call for universal birth registration and stronger identity management remains urgent. And while Asia has the highest number of stateless people globally, it is also the region that has made the greatest strides in reducing statelessness. And let me highlight a few recent achievements. In 2024, Turkmenistan became the latest country to eradicate all known cases of statelessness following the Kyrgyz Republic in 2019. Together with Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan, these states adopted the Ashgabat Declaration, committing to universal birth registration and ending statelessness in Central Asia. And I was pleased to attend this important conference. In Southeast Asia, states are working to prevent statelessness. In the Philippines, and with support of Indonesia and Japan, they are verifying and documenting nationality of undocumented migrants. Thailand has integrated stateless individuals into national systems and in October 2024 adopted a landmark resolution to accelerate pathways to citizenship for some 500,000 stateless people. And in 2024, Malaysia took a critical step by amending its constitution to allow women to confer nationality to their children on equal terms with men. These are powerful examples of leadership and regional cooperation. Excellencies, this year, 2025, marks the inaugural year of the Global Alliance to End Statelessness, which was launched by the High Commissioner for Refugees to support states through collaboration, peer exchange, and technical expertise. We are proud to count Australia, the Philippines, Thailand, and Turkmenistan as early members from our region. I warmly welcome and encourage more states to join these shared efforts. This evening, Vital Strategies and UNHCR, together with the 4 member states of the Global Alliance, we will co-host a reception and publication launch. The new publications highlights the life experiences of formerly stateless people and the progress made throughout the I Belong campaign, which took place from 2014 to 2024. We invite you to join us for this event and to continue sharing your experiences and insight throughout the conference. Your leadership is helping to build a future where every person has proof of identity and recognition under the law. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Hai Kyung-jan, for those insightful remarks. May I now invite Mr. Subin Lalmulmi, Executive Director, Nationality for All, to deliver a statement on behalf of civil society organizations from Asia and the Pacific. Mr. Mulmi, you have the floor.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, colleagues, and friends. My name is Subin Mulmi. I'm the Executive Director of Nationality for All. And before I begin, I would like to actually share a story that illustrates how the challenges of CRVS have evolved. In the past, CRVS challenges were often seen as issues of access, such as lack of proximity to a registration office or not having the right documents. Today, they also encompass deeper, more complex forms of exclusion related to identity, mobility, and recognition. Take the case of Eliana Rubashkin, an intersex transgender refugee who was detained at an airport in 2012 because her gender identity did not match the sex marker on her documents. For a year, she lived in legal limbo as stateless and was denied access to basic rights and protections. Her experience reflects a broader reality that legal identity systems must evolve to register and recognize the full diversity of human lives. I speak today on behalf of more than 30 civil society organizations from across the Asia-Pacific who engaged in extensive consultations to draft this statement. Organizations that work daily with communities to ensure one powerful truth, that everyone matters and everyone must be counted with dignity. Behind every data point is a name not written down, a life not recorded, and a person denied access to basic rights. In some of the most remote mountain communities, in refugee camps along borders, and in coastal villages without digital infrastructure, people remain invisible to the systems that should protect them. Invisibility isn't just a technical gap, but a human crisis. A stateless child without a birth certificate may be denied schooling, healthcare, or protection from exploitation. A transgender person may face repeated rejection when trying to update their documents to reflect their identity. A woman from a cross-border marriage might be excluded from registering the birth of a child. An older person can be excluded from social protection programs. These are the realities we witness every day. CRVS is more than a set of forms or databases. It is the foundation of legal identity, belonging, and protection. In a world shaped by displacement, pandemics, and digital transformation, inclusivity in civil registration is not optional but is essential. CRVS must be designed to reflect the complexity and diversity of human lives. To address these challenges and build truly inclusive CRVS systems, we call for the following actions. Universal, free, and accessible registration. Civil registration must be free of charge, mobile, and linguistically and physically accessible, especially for displaced persons, indigenous peoples, and other underserved groups. Legal reforms to remove discrimination. Laws must allow all parents, regardless of gender or nationality, to register their children. Gender-diverse individuals must be able to change their identity markers without invasive or coercive requirements. Prioritize domestic funding for CRVS systems. We would urge the governments to embed CRVS in national budget planning across sectors like health, justice, social welfare, and digital governance. Allocate sustained public funding to strengthen CRVS infrastructure. Recognition of stateless and undocumented populations. Ensure that all individuals, regardless of citizenship or legal status, have the right to register births and vital events without fear of prosecution, detention, or denial. Inclusive digital systems. CRVS services must be adapted for those with limited digital literacy or connectivity, particularly for the elderly, rural women, and persons with disabilities. Cooperation and accountability. Governments must partner meaningfully with civil society, including disabled persons organizations, LGBTQI+ organizations, and other grassroots networks to co-create inclusive CRVS policies. Protection of data and human rights. CRVS systems must be secure, uphold privacy, and follow the principle of do no harm, especially for those with precarious legal status. As we extend the CRVS decade to 2030, we must renew our commitment to the principle that every person counts, not only in data, but in rights, in policy, and in dignity. We, the CSOs of Asia and Pacific, pledge to stand with these communities, to advocate for their rights, and to support governments in building CRVS systems that are inclusive, equitable, and just. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Malmi, for those motivating and thought-provoking remarks. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, this now concludes the opening addresses by our distinguished speakers this morning. I now turn to the Secretary of the conference, Ms. Rachel Bevan, Director of Statistics Division of ESCAP, to conduct the election of officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it's my pleasure to conduct the election of the officers for the Bureau of the Senior Officials segment of the Third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. The floor is now open for nominations for the positions of chair and vice chairs of this segment of the conference. May I now invite nominations from the floor, please? I recognize the distinguished delegate from Bhutan. You have the floor, please.
Good morning, Excellencies, distinguished delegates. The delegation of Bhutan has the pleasure to propose the following distinguished delegates to serve on the Bureau of the Senior Officials segment of the Third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. As chair, Ms. Aishat Hassan, Chief Statistician, Bureau of Statistics, Maldives. As vice chairs, Ms. Selina Kurulika, Permanent Secretary of Justice, Fiji, Ms. Minerva Eloisa P. Esquiveas, Officer in Charge, Deputy National Statistician, Philippines Statistics Authority, and finally, Mr. Russell Bernard, Registrar General and General Manager Operations, Regulatory and Identity Services, New Zealand Department of Internal Affairs. We are confident that under the capable leadership of this Bureau, all assigned tasks will be carried out successfully. Their dedication and expertise will inspire trust in the work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, the distinguished delegate from Bhutan. The distinguished delegate from Bhutan has proposed the following nominations. As chair, Ms. Aishat Hassan, Chief Statistician, Bureau of Statistics, Maldives. As vice chairs, Ms. Selina Kuralecha, Permanent Secretary for Justice, Fiji. Ms. Minerva Eloisa Pieskivas, Officer in Charge, Deputy National Statistician, Philippine Statistics Authority, and Mr. Russell Bernard, Register General and General Manager Operations, Regulatory and Identity Services, New Zealand Department of Internal Affairs. Would any delegations like to propose alternative nominations or second the nomination made by the distinguished
Ministerial and expresses its support for the proposed Bureau members. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Papua New Guinea, for seconding the nomination. Would any other delegation like to take the floor? I recognize the distinguished delegate from Sri Lanka. Please, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Delegation of Sri Lanka is pleased to second this nomination proposed by Bhutan delegation for the Bureau and express its support for the proposed Bureau members.
Thank you, distinguished delegate from Sri Lanka, for seconding the nomination. Would any other delegation like to take the floor? I see none. I would like to thank Bhutan for the proposal and Papua New Guinea and Sri Lanka for supporting the proposal. I now declare that the following distinguished delegates will serve on the Bureau. As chair, Ms. Aishat Hassan, Chief Statistician, Bureau of Statistics, Maldives. As vice chairs, Ms. Selina Kuralecha, Permanent Secretary for Justice, Fiji. Ms. Minerva Meluisa Pieskivas, Officer in Charge, Deputy National Statistician, Philippine Statistics Authority, and Mr. Russell Bernard, Registrar General and General Manager Operations, Regulatory and Identity Services, New Zealand Department of Internal Affairs. The Secretariat will incorporate names of the Chair and Vice Chairs in the report of the meeting. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, please join me in congratulating the newly elected Chair and Vice Chairs, please. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is now my honor to invite Ms. Aishat Hassan, Chief Statistician of the Maldives, to take the seat at the rostrum to take up her duty as Chair of the Senior Officials segment of the Third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific, and to preside over the proceedings from this point forward.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is my honor to accept the role of the Chair of the Senior Official segment of this important Third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific. I extend my warm thanks to all the members and associate members of ESCAP, development partners, and the Secretariat for your trust and support. On behalf of the Bureau, I would like to affirm our commitment to guiding a constructive and focused discussion over the coming days. This conference marks a key moment to assess our collective progress and to shape the path ahead as we work towards universal and responsive CRVS systems. The work we do here is critical. Civil registration is not just an administrative function, but it is a function for identity, rights, and access to services. Ensuring that every person is counted and every life event is registered. It is central to inclusive development, good governance, and human dignity. Let us approach this session with a spirit of collaboration and purpose. I look forward to working closely with all of you to ensure the success of our deliberations. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, at this point, please allow me to say a few words about the organization of this conference. In order to facilitate the conduct of the session, I now turn to the matter of statements in exercise of the right to reply during the conference. In line with Rule 46 of the Rules of Procedure and Practice of the parent body of the Commission, the Economic and Social Council, I propose that in exercising their right of reply, delegations should be as brief as possible and deliver their statements at the end of the meeting at which the right is requested, or at the end of the day whenever 2 meetings have been scheduled for that day to consider the same item. I further propose that the number of interventions in exercise of the right of reply for any delegation at given meeting should be limited to 2 per item, with the first intervention limited to 3 minutes and the second, if any, to 2 minutes. I hear no objection. We will proceed accordingly. Delegation wishing to exercise the right of reply are briefly requested to inform the Secretariat staff. I would also like to remind everyone that effective time management is crucial for the smooth conduct of this meeting. Therefore, we kindly ask your cooperation in focusing your interventions on issues directly related to the agenda items. The Secretariat will assist the Chair in keeping track of time. Each intervention should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and a timer will be displayed on the screen. You will be notified when your 3 minutes are up, and if you are still speaking, you will be asked to wrap up your intervention promptly. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation, which will allow as many delegates as possible the opportunity to speak. Only the speech or intervention in the original language is authentic and constitutes an authentic record of the proceedings. In case of any inconsistency between the interpretation and the speech or intervention in the original language, the latter shall prevail. Regarding the report for the conference, please note that the draft report is procedural in nature and will be considered for adoption on the final day of this conference. The draft ministerial declaration will be considered for adoption and recommended for endorsement by the Commission at its next session. An account of the proceedings will be drafted after the conference has ended. This will be circulated to participants within a week of the conclusion of the conference so that they have an opportunity to ensure that their statements have been accurately reflected and will be annexed to the report of the conference. Let us now turn to agenda item 1C on the adoption of the agenda as presented to you in the document. Provisional agenda ESCAP/MCCVRS/2025/1/revision 1. Are there any comments on this agenda item? I see none. The provisional agenda is contained in the document ESCAP MCCVRS 2025/1 revision 1 is adopted. Distinguished delegates, this concludes agenda item 1. Before we proceed to agenda item 2, we will now take the official group photo. I would like to ask our MC to support us with this.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, we will now take the official group photo. It is my pleasure to invite the chair and the vice chairs of the senior official segments of the conference, along with Madam Executive Secretary Ms. Hai-Kyung John and Mr. Molmi, to please join us on the stage for the first group photo. Thank you, Excellencies and distinguished delegates, for your patience. I'm pleased to invite all of you to participate in the second group photo of all delegates attending this session. The second photo will be taken from the second floor. So may I kindly request all delegates to stand up and turn around. So please kindly look up to the second floor, where the photographer is standing with the light. You see the light, yeah? When taking the photo, the light will be turned off momentarily and the photo will be taken. Once the photo is taken, the light will be switched on again. So please remain looking up until the photo is taken and the light is switched back on. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very much for your cooperation, and please do take your seats again. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, may I now invite Mr. Peter Ellis, Director of Statistics for Development Division, Pacific Community, SPC, to introduce Agenda Item 2, Achievements and Challenges After a Decade of Getting Everyone in the Picture, and to share progress made over the past decade towards achieving universal and responsive civil registration and vital statistics systems in the Asia and the Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. So, Excellencies and distinguished delegates, it's my honour to introduce Agenda Item 2 on achievements and challenges after a decade of getting everyone in the picture on behalf of the co-organisers of this conference. Since the launch of the Asia and Pacific Civil Registration Vital Statistics Decade in 2014, members and associate members of ESCAP have made significant progress toward our shared vision that by 2024, all people in Asia and the Pacific will benefit from universal and responsive civil registration and vital statistics systems that protect people's rights, support good governance, and promote health and development. Last week, ESCAP released the 2025 Asia-Pacific Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Progress Report. You can find paper copies like this one at the ESCAP exhibition booth outside, as well as being available online. This report is a result of close collaboration between many development partners, including the co-organisers of this conference. The report draws directly from the experiences of countries and territories that have worked tirelessly, often under difficult conditions, to strengthen their systems. Let me highlight just a few of the most encouraging achievements from the past decades. Today, more people than ever before are having their births and deaths registered. More countries than ever are now approaching universal registration of births and deaths, something that once felt out of reach for many. There's been a remarkable decline in the number of young children whose births go unregistered. Over the past 10 years, 84 million more children have received birth certificates, bringing visibility, protection, and access to services. That's a 62% reduction, a powerful testament to what determined collective action can achieve. We also know far more today about how people in our region are living and dying. The number of countries and territories recording causes of death according to international standards has increased by 2/3 since 2014. This means more accurate, timely, and comparable data, equipping governments to identify health trends, respond faster, and ultimately save lives. Another area of progress over the past decade is in how CRVS data is being used and its value recognised. Since 2014, more than twice as many countries are now using birth and death registration data, and the number publishing vital statistics reports has tripled. It's especially encouraging to see the growing leadership of national statisticians, some of whom I see in this room, many of whom first called for renewed focus on CRVS right here in this venue a decade ago. Thanks to their leadership, key indicators like population estimates and maternal and infant mortality are now being regularly produced to inform policy and planning. These remarkable achievements reflect a decade of commitment, investment, and reform. They are truly worth celebrating. However, as the 2025 report makes clear, important challenges remain that have held back progress to realising the shared vision. The COVID-19 pandemic was perhaps one of the most difficult tests our region has faced in the past decade. It disrupted lives and institutions, and our CRVS systems were no exception. It tested their resilience, stalling efforts and reversing earlier gains in some cases. Between 2019 and 2021, timely birth registration fell in many countries, including several countries in the region my own organisation, SPC, works in, the Pacific. And while some have recovered, others continue to face setbacks. As of 2024, an estimated 14 million children were still not registered before their first birthday, and nearly 7 million deaths remain unrecorded. These are not just numbers. They're missed opportunities to protect rights, plan services, and honour lives. The pandemic proved that resilient CRVS systems are not a luxury. They are a necessity, even and especially in times of crisis. We must ensure that vital events, births, deaths, and marriages, can be registered any time. Many countries have taken steps to strengthen the resilience of their systems. These include developing data protection plans, storing data in off-site locations, and offering online registration options. Many systems have also become more inclusive through legislative and process changes. Efforts have been made to facilitate registration of vital events for hard-to-reach and marginalised groups, which includes adopting disability-inclusive registration processes and removing fees for the timely registration of births and deaths. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the past decade has shown that progress is possible and that universal, inclusive, and resilient CRVS systems are within reach for our region. Let us now reaffirm our shared commitment and accelerate our efforts over the next 5 years so that we truly get everyone in the picture. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis, for this introduction of the agenda item. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, before we begin with statements, I would like to reiterate the arrangements for our discussions over the next 3 days. We kindly request delegations to focus of their interventions strictly on the issues for discussion or consideration, and to limit each intervention to no more than 3 minutes. I strongly encourage all delegations on behalf and to the point. A timer will be displayed on the screen and you will be notified when 3 minutes have elapsed. At the point, you will be asked to wrap up your interventions immediately. In view of the mandates and operational requirements of the conference, priority will be given to the members, associate members, and countries that are permanent observers of the Commission to deliberate and procedural matters. Limited opportunities to deliberate on procedural matters will be available for observer organizations, intergovernment organizations, and other entities depending on the availability of time. Thank you for your kind understanding and cooperation. Distinguished delegates, we will now continue with statements under agenda item 2 on achievements and challenges after a decade of getting everyone in the picture as presented in the document. Progress made on civil registration and vital statistics in Asia and the Pacific after a decade of getting everyone in the picture. ESCAP/MC CRVS/2025/2 and support provided by development partners to improve civil registration and vital statistics systems during the Asia and the Pacific Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Decade 2015 to 2024, ESCAP MC CRVS/2025/3. The floor is now open for comments on agenda item 2. The floor speaker. The first speaker is Maldives, to be followed by Fiji. The delegate from Maldives, you have the floor now.
Thank you. Excellencies, as we gather to reflect on a decade of shared progress in strengthening civil registration and vital statistics, we are honored to be among committed nations striving to ensure that no life goes unrecorded and no one is left behind. Our journey, shaped by both unique challenges and collective aspiration, offers valuable lessons and resilience, innovation, and inclusion. One of our notable achievements was the nationwide rollout of our digital registration platform, GAME, launched in 2020 during the height of COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we are proud to report that all birth and death across the country are registered in near real time, and every medical certificate of cause of death is completed prior to burial, leading to highly accurate mortality data. These advancements have helped us track rising rates of non-communicable diseases, establish a national cancer registry, and expand dialysis services across the country. In 2022, we marked another historic milestone with the enactment of a new Birth and Death Registration Act, a transformative piece of legislation that formally integrates into law the processes around issuance of birth certificates and national identity card. The law strengthens legal identity from birth and reinforces our commitment to life cycle approach to CRVS and identity management. Today, birth registration is nearly universal. This has been made possible through the close collaboration of the Ministry of Health, Department of National Registration, Maurice Bureau of Statistics, and local government authority. Most recently, this collaboration resulted in the publication of the 2024 Vital Statistics Report, reflecting the accuracy and strength of our national data. While we talk about success stories, let us also discuss our shared challenges. While
Distinguished delegate from Maldives, please wrap up.
While digitalization has helped us to improve registration, we continue to encounter delays in the timely dissemination of vital statistics. Our mortality data needs improvement in terms of its quality and reporting. The integration of birth and death with other CRVS data is still pending and are deemed crucial at this juncture. Looking ahead, the Maldives will focus on transitioning to ICD 11.
Distinguished delegate from Maldives, please wrap up.
We are remain to commit to ensure the availability of timely vital statistics which are used to effective planning and evidence-based decision-making. We are ready to learn from our past experiences and strengthen coordination among all relevant stakeholders to have an inclusive and an integrated CRVS system in the country.
Thank you. The next speaker is from Fiji, to be followed by Philippines. Fiji, you have the floor.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, development partners, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the Republic of Fiji, marking a decade of our commitment under the slogan, "Get everyone in the picture" initiative. Over the past 10 years, Fiji has undertaken significant efforts to strengthen our civil registration and vital statistics system, which we recognize as essential for inclusive development, effective governance, and the protection of every individual's rights. Over the past decade, Fiji has maintained a consistently high rate of birth registration, with recorded births remaining relatively stable at around 20,000 per year between 2012 and 2020. The introduction of economic incentives in 2018 led to a noticeable increase in birth registrations. However, the rate of a timely registration declined after these incentives ended in 2020. Digitization continues to play a key role in modernizing our CRVS system. Fiji is also working towards a full interoperability of CRVS with our national ID and health systems to enable real-time data exchange and enhance the quality of data used in planning and policy making. Our data exchange platform is already in operation, allowing for a secure sharing of civil registration data with relevant government ministries under formal agreements, supporting more coordinated and efficient service delivery. With the funding availability from Vital Statistics via Pacific Community, SPC, we've recruited 2 consultants to review the Birth, Death, and Marriage Registration Act 1975 and the Marriage Act 1968. This review will align our laws with international standards to ensure the timely and complete registration of vital events, including the more accurate reporting of causes of death. This review also dovetails into the review currently being undertaken for the Fijian Statistics Act 1961. The use of CRVS data has become more systematic in national planning, in disaster preparedness and monitoring of sustainable development goals, particularly those linked to health, gender equality, and legal identity. The Ministry of Justice has also embarked on a functional review of the law and justice sector to align its operations with the objectives of the Fiji National Development Plan, which in turn align with the SDGs. Our dispersed island geography continues to pose logistical challenges in ensuring equitable access to CRV services, particularly in our islands. While maritime outreach and awareness programs have improved access, the need for important network infrastructure remains a challenge. Fiji, like our Pacific Island neighbors in our vast blue Pacific, have unique challenges. In that regard, there is a need for greater representation for us in the Pacific Island countries, in the right spaces to effect the changes that are meaningful for us as Pacific people. We respectfully request the consideration for a defined and favorable quota structure in the more inclusive representation of Pacific UNHCR in all aspects of UNHCR. This includes regional steering groups, strategic advisory boards, council, technical advisory
Distinguished
groups,
delegate from Fiji,
and networks
please
that will
wrap up.
guarantee our visibility and representation to ensure nothing about us without us. In closing, we reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that every person in Fiji is counted, protected, and visible through CRVS system that is robust, inclusive, and resilient. Pinakwa Lebu, and thank you.
Thank you. The distinguished delegate from Philippines, you may have the to be followed by the delegate from Vietnam.
Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The Philippines is honored to present its progress and ongoing commitments in strengthening civil registration and vital statistics as part of the Asia-Pacific Civil Registration and Vital Statistics Decade 2015-2024. Our CRBS initiative aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and with the National Development Priorities as articulated in the Philippine Development Plan 2023-2028 and the Philippine Statistical Development Program 2023-2029. Significant strides have been made to enhance the quality, completeness, and timeliness of birth and death, including mortality statistics. Collaboration with government agencies, civil society organizations, and the development partners through birth registration initiatives and mobile registrations have improved accessibility and coverage, especially in rural and marginalized communities, contributing to an improved coverage on birth registration. Key initiatives include a nationwide birth registration assistance project for the marginalized sectors, adopting the ICD-10 classification, implementing automated coding tools like IRIS, and applying analytical software such as Anaconda and Anacode 3 to ensure data accuracy. The Philippines has also taken steps towards digital integration by linking the CRBS system with our national identification system, which will enable real-time updates and better data management. Despite these achievements, challenges remain in reaching geographically isolated and vulnerable populations, including indigenous and informal urban communities where registration delays and gaps persist. Looking forward, the Philippines aligns with the regional vision to extend the CRBS decade to 2030, emphasizing resilience, inclusivity, and digital innovation. We are committed to expanding online registration platforms and achieving universal coverage to ensure no one is left behind. We welcome the opportunity provided by this third ministerial conference to reaffirm our commitment to universal registration and timely vital statistics production and to strengthen regional cooperation in addressing remaining challenges. The CRBS Comprehensive Bill to be filed in our 20th Congress following the recent national elections underscores our dedication to strengthening civil registration processes and improve data quality. Together with our regional partners, we look forward to advancing inclusive, resilient, and innovative CRBS systems that uphold the rights and well-being of all people across Asia and the Pacific. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. The next speaker is Vietnam, to be followed by Kiribati. The speaker from Vietnam, you have the floor now.
Thưa quý vị đại biểu, Hội nghị Bộ trưởng lần thứ 3 về đăng ký thống kê hộ tịch khu vực châu Á-Thái Bình Dương là dấu mốc quan trọng thể hiện cam kết của các quốc gia trong khu vực trong việc bảo đảm mọi sự kiện hộ tịch đều được ghi nhận, góp phần thực hiện quyền con người và mục tiêu phát triển bền vững. Đối với Việt Nam, tuyên bố từ Hội nghị Bộ trưởng lần 2 và khung hành động khu vực đã được cụ thể hóa bằng chương trình hành động quốc gia về CRVS giai đoạn 2017-2024. Chương trình được triển khai rộng khắp với sự vào cuộc mạnh mẽ của Ban chỉ đạo quốc gia và sự hỗ trợ tích cực của các tổ chức quốc tế. Vì vậy, hệ thống CRVS của Việt Nam đã có bước phát triển rõ rệt. Việt Nam đã đạt và vượt các chỉ tiêu trong chương trình quốc gia. Trong giai đoạn 2024, tỷ lệ hoàn thành đăng ký khai sinh cho trẻ em đạt trên 90%. Tỷ lệ hoàn thành đăng ký khai tử đạt trên 80%. Có được các kết quả đáng khích lệ là do chính phủ Việt Nam đã có nhiều giải pháp tích cực như quan điểm của chính phủ Việt Nam luôn coi trọng người dân là chủ thể, là trung tâm của mọi chính sách, không phân biệt đối xử, không để ai bỏ lại phía sau. 2 là đơn giản hóa các thủ tục hành chính trong đăng ký hộ tịch. 3 là cơ sở dữ liệu hộ tịch được xây dựng và kết nối với cơ sở dữ liệu quốc gia về dân cư. 4. Chương trình chuyển đổi số của Việt Nam được triển khai mạnh mẽ, trong đó việc đăng ký hộ tịch trực tuyến và phong trào bình dân học vụ số được đặc biệt quan tâm, giúp cho người dân tiếp cận dễ dàng các dịch vụ số trong đăng ký hộ tịch cũng như các thủ tục hành chính khác. Thưa quý vị, chúng tôi vui mừng chứng kiến những tiến bộ mà chúng ta đã đạt cùng nhau. Tuy nhiên, chúng ta vẫn chưa về đích, vẫn còn những khoảng trống, những thách thức như sự chênh lệch đáng kể về tỷ lệ đăng ký khai sinh, đăng ký khai tử ở nhóm yếu thế. Pháp luật về hộ tịch chưa đáp ứng các yêu cầu mới đặt ra. Vì vậy, chúng ta cần xác định hướng đi đúng đắn. Cụ thể hơn, đối với Việt Nam, những vấn đề cần ưu tiên giải quyết trong thời gian tới đó là: 1. Tiếp tục đổi mới quy trình và phương thức đăng ký hộ tịch nhằm tăng tỷ lệ đăng ký đúng hạn, đặc biệt là những nhóm yếu thế. 2. Hoàn thiện pháp luật về đăng ký và thống kê hộ tịch, nhất là sửa đổi luật hộ tịch. 3. Tiếp tục hoàn thiện cơ sở dữ liệu về hộ tịch quốc gia toàn diện và bao trùm, bảo đảm dữ liệu được tích hợp, phân tích sử dụng để hoạch định các chính sách phát triển. 4. Hoàn thiện cơ chế kết nối chia sẻ thông tin giữa cơ sở dữ liệu hộ tịch với các cơ sở dữ liệu khác, bảo đảm dữ liệu được nhất quán, kịp thời, minh bạch trên nguyên tắc dữ liệu thu thập một lần nhưng được sử dụng nhiều lần, góp phần nâng cao chất lượng cung cấp dịch vụ công cho người dân. 5. Cải thiện chất lượng thông tin về nguyên nhân tử vong theo tiêu chuẩn quốc tế, làm cơ sở đưa ra các giải pháp và chính sách kịp thời trong chăm sóc sức khỏe của người dân. Những ưu tiên này sẽ tiếp tục được thể hiện hóa trong chương trình hành động quốc gia của giai đoạn 26-30. Và với sự nỗ lực của chúng tôi thì hy vọng sẽ góp phần vào sự thành công chung của chương trình hành động CRVS của khu vực trong thời gian tới. Xin trân trọng cảm ơn.
The next speaker is from Kiribati, to be followed by Nepal. Kiribati, you have the floor now.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, partners and friends, greetings to you all from Kiribati. I wish to begin by extending warm congratulations to all countries represented here today, particularly our Pacific neighbors, on the tremendous progress we have collectively achieved over the past decade in strengthening civil registration and vital statistics systems. The gains made in improving the registration and reporting of vital events are a testament to our shared commitment to building more inclusive, responsive, and data-driven societies. We also gratefully acknowledge the continued support of our development partners, especially the Pacific Community, UNICEF, Bloomberg Philanthropies, and ESCAP. Their technical and financial assistance has been instrumental in enabling real progress at the country level. In our own context, we have seen remarkable improvements. In 2014, estimates indicated that birth registration completeness for children under 5 stood at just 40%. By the following year, that figure had more than doubled, reaching an impressive 85%. This is a result we are proud of. Nevertheless, we continue to face significant challenges, especially the barriers posed by our geography, the remoteness of our islands, limited communication infrastructure, and the absence of a modern legal framework have all presented persistent obstacles to full CRVS coverage and accuracy. In response, our efforts have focused on several key areas. We have developed a CRVS improvement plan with a strong emphasis on improving the quality of birth, death, and cause of death data. We have invested in training for medical practitioners, including nurses in our outer islands, to correctly complete medical certificates for cause of death. With the support of UNICEF, we have expanded outreach registration services to remote and outer island communities. Our statisticians, including those from the Ministry of Justice, have undergone our training to strengthen the use of vital statistics for planning and policy. Importantly, we are also actively working towards joining the regional death reporting service being delivered by the Pacific Community. Looking ahead, Kiribati reaffirms its full commitment to the goals of the Ministerial Decade for CRVS. We will continue to work in...
Nepal, Nepal, you may have...
Could you hear? Hello? Yes, okay, please. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, my friends, it's my pleasure to present country report of my country, Nepal. Chair, allow me to present the achievement and challenges during a decade. The Constitution of Nepal guarantees that every child has the right to name and birth registration along with his or her identity under Article 39(1). The National Identity and Civil Registration Act 2019 and the National Civil Code Act 2019 and the Act relating to children and the local government operation also provide legal identity through civil registration and ensure the protection of this right. Over the last decade, Nepal has made substantial progress in civil registration. The birth registration rate of children under 5 years increased from 35% in 2006 to 24% in 2024. The percentage of birth registered within 1 year of occurrence rose from 24.4% in 2015 to 64.6% in 2024. This progress has been achieved through increased outreach and awareness, including celebration of Vital Event Week at the beginning of each calendar year across all local levels. Number 2, almost all wards and local government in Nepal now register Vital Event through online. This registration has significantly improved the accuracy of records, reduced duplication, and enhanced the ability of generate real-time disaggregated demographic data and vital statistics for planning and monitoring. It has also improved citizens' access to their records in case they lose their civil registration certification. Additionally, the government has digitized 20 million paper records of civil registration. Both registers had made mandatory for accessing many public services such as school enrollment and child grants and bank account opening. Major outcomes include the issuance of national ID number during birth registration, capacity building of local registrars, and the pilot implementation of sending notifications from birth information management system to civil registration system. Despite these achievements, Nepal has faced some challenges in this regard. To reach to unreachable, using CRVS fully for planning and programming, particularly in rural areas and rural and marginalized communities, remain aware of the enhanced and benefits of registering vital event. And traditional beliefs and practices, some also acts as a barriers. And the way forward for universal civil registration includes integration of civil registration system with the health information management system, removing late fees and incentivizing timely registration, conducting completeness declaration campaigning, simplifying processes, creating demand for civil registration by linking it with multiple systems, raising awareness, building capacity, adding cause of death details to the CRVS, and enhancing coordination and cooperation might work as a fundamental basis. By the way, it's a long way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Nepal. The next speaker is India, to be followed by Samoa. India, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Distinguished delegates and friends, it's a pleasure to be here today. In India, the civil registration system is popularly known as birth and death registration system. The registration of births and deaths is a mandatory under Registration of Birth and Death Act 1969. The Act is administered by the Government of India and implemented by the states. India maintains a humongous civil registration system with around 300,000 registration units, 99.6% of which are on digital platform, covering over 1.4 billion population and registering more than 33 million vital events annually. India has taken several initiatives to achieve 100% registration, some of which I will highlight here. The Registration of Birth and Death Act 1969 has been amended in 2023, and this came into force from 1st October 2023. In order to take advantage of advancement in information technology during the last decade and to make the system more citizen-friendly, the Central CRS portal, operational since 2015, now a new CRS portal has been launched since Feb 2024. Also for hassle-free registration, a mobile application for registration of birth and death has also been developed and is in operation. Now a person can report birth and death from anywhere, anytime, and the certificate delivered electronically once the event is registered and that too in 16 regional languages. The digital certificate can also be stored digitally in DigiLocker, a digital repository developed by the Government of India, which provides secure, paperless solution for accessing and sharing official documents anytime, anywhere for quick accessibility. The birth certificate has been made the only document to prove the date and place of birth of a person who is born on or after 1st October 2023. It has been made mandatory for medical institutions to provide cause of death certificate to register. The database of birth and deaths can be made available to other agencies for updating and integrating with their databases, resulting in better targeting and improving the efficiency of their expenditure. Facility for digitalization of old records has been provided on the portal. Civil registration database can be used through API to track the progress of children from their birth to immunization, nutrition, social enrollment, and academic progress till completion of school education. During the CRS decade, India has made significant progress towards the goal of universal registration of vital events. It is evident from the fact that the birth registration, which was 86.6% at the beginning of the CRS decade, has now increased to 96.5% in 2022. Similarly, death registration has now reached from 72.5% to 92.2% in 2022. We published vital statistics
India, please wrap up.
Based on CRS and annual report on medical certificate of cause of death on annual basis. India is steadily and confidently approaching towards the goal of universal registration. Before I close, I thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, India. The next speaker is Samoa, to be followed by Republic of Korea. Samoa, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, honorable ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Samoa acknowledges the fundamental role of civil registration in the life of every individual, as well as the production and dissemination of accurate and timely vital statistics. The report and the background document highlight the importance of getting everyone in the picture, with a notable progress made in the period under review in the region. We commend the thorough process undertaken to prepare the background paper, including the consultation to consider the developments in each country of Asia and the Pacific. We noted the development initiatives that have been recorded from the review, as well as challenges that requires commitment at the country level, as well as technical and financial support from all associated partners and the donor community. Samoa has made progress over the past few years and will continue to refine and improve processes and procedures, as well as strengthening coordination and communication with external stakeholders, including the marginalized groups, especially in rural areas. Lastly, we acknowledge with sincere appreciation the technical and the financial assistance provided by the development partners. UNDP ESCAP, based in Samoa office in the past 5 years, facilitated a review of Samoa's CRVS system, as well as refinements and improvements, including outreach program in the community. We have also been grateful for the support from the ESCAP in completing the recent CRVS inequality assessment, and from the Bloomberg Philanthropies, as well as the Secretariat of the Pacific Community for recent training and gender analysis report. With that, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Samoa. The next speaker is Republic of Korea, to be followed by Nauru. Republic of Korea, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair, distinguished delegates. The Republic of Korea operates two interconnected systems for assigning legal identity: the Family Relationship Registration System and the Resident Registration System. The Family Relationship Registration System records individual individuals' legal status and family relationships, while the resident registration system records actual place of residence and serves as the basis for delivering administrative services. The ROK's vital statistics are compiled in connection with the family relationship residence registration system. Since 1970, we have collected CRVS data using a unified reporting format integrated with the family registration system. In 2004, we further streamlined the process through web-based system integration. In 2018, we simplified the birth and death registration forms by removing redundant items already included in attached documents, improving convenience for registrants. The removed fields are now supplemented with hospital-issued birth or death certificates and administrative data. Furthermore, a birth notification system was introduced in 2024. Under this system, all births occur in medical institutions are notified to local governments. If parents do not submit a birth registration, the local government can register the birth ex officio. Once registered, these births are automatically reflected in our vital statistics through system integration. This new mechanism has brought the ROK one step closer to achieving our shared goal of getting everyone in the picture. The ROK also conducts an annual resident registration fact-finding investigation to confirm whether people actually reside at their registered address. Since 2022, the investigation has been expanded from in-person visit to include the digital method, improving public convenience. This process helps ensure the accuracy of CRVS data. We hope that ROK's experience will serve as a useful reference for countries seeking to strengthen their CRVS system. Thank you.
Thank you, Republic of Korea. The next speaker is Nauru, to be followed by Mongolia. Nauru, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, esteemed colleagues, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be part of this great occasion. On behalf of Nauru delegation, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all the countries, particularly our Pacific neighbors, for the progress in strengthening the civil registration system over the last 10 years. This collective achievement is a testament to our shared commitment for better governance and improved health and social services. We also wish to acknowledge and thank our development partners who have been instrumental in supporting these efforts. Special thanks to the Pacific Community, Bloomberg Fellows, Data for Health ESCAP, and UNDP. Your support has been vital in driving forward our initiatives and building sustainable systems. At the country level, I am pleased to highlight some key results. Nauru has achieved 100% registration rate for birth, deaths occurring within our borders, which is a significant milestone in our civil registration journey. However, we also recognize the challenge ahead. A considerable number of our citizens are born overseas. We must improve our system to better capture information about these individuals to ensure they can access essential entitlements such as legal identities, passports, and land rights. While there has been a marked improvement in quality of medical cause of death data since 2015, there remains work to be done. Further reduce errors and inaccuracies, ensuring our health data is precise as possible. Additionally, Our effort to digitize records face hurdles, especially with challenges of transferring paper records for processing and storage. The UNDP digitization project has been promising, but we need to continue addressing these logistic issues. In 2023, we were pleased to complete business process improvement and the redesign project supported by SPC, ESCAP, and UNDP. This initiative has laid a strong foundation for more efficient and transparent process, and we look forward to advancing the initiatives identified in the project's report. Finally, I want to reaffirm Nauru's unwavering commitment to the Ministerial
The
Decade
distinguished
of Action.
delegate from Nauru.
We are dedicated to work resolutely towards our shared targets, ensuring progress for our citizens, contributing to the collective effort of the Pacific region. Thank you.
Thank you, Nauru. The next speaker is Mongolia, to be followed by Thailand. Mongolia, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, on behalf of the Government of Mongolia, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific for organizing this important conference and for providing a valuable platform to review our collective progress under the Asia and Pacific CRVC's decade. This ministerial conference is a critical moment to renew our commitments and chart the way forward. Over the past decade, Mongolia has made substantial progress in strengthening its civil registration and vital statistics system to ensure that no one is left behind. Mongolia revised its law on civil registration in 2018, formally recognizing civil registration as an essential public service. This has enabled the General Authority for State Registration to expand its mandate and improve service quality across the country. Mongolia has developed and implemented a centralized digital civil registration system covering birth, death, marriage, divorce, and migration. The system is interoperable with the National ID system and e-health platform, enabling seamless data exchange and reducing duplication. With over 30% of our population living in rural or nomadic lifestyle, Mongolia has actively deployed mobile registration units to ensure equitable access to registration services in remote areas. Special campaigns have also been launched to register unregistered children and improve public awareness of the importance of civil registration. In collaboration with the National Statistics Office and the Ministry of Health, Mongolia regularly complies and publishes birth and death statistics. Efforts are underway to improve cause of death data quality through training and the adoption of the ICD-10 coding. Despite these advancements, challenges persist. Disparities in registration coverage remain, especially among marginalized, mobile, and vulnerable populations. Madam Chair, Mongolia supports the proposed extension of the CRVS decade to 2030 and remains committed to the shared regional vision of universal and responsive CRVS systems. We will continue to invest in legal reform, human resources capacity building, digitalization, and data integration to strengthen the CRVS as a foundation for governance, health, and development. In conclusion, we reaffirm our commitment to leaving no one behind and to working closely with our regional partners to ensure every individual is counted, protected, and empowered through a resilient and inclusive CRVS system. I thank you.
Thank you, Mongolia. The next speaker is Thailand, to be followed by Bangladesh. Thailand, you have the floor.
Chair, Excellencies, distinguished language. This is another to join your as is implementing a smile to outside chair in journal to breathe. Stronger, more is cool CRVS system, cause is rejection. Thailand refers its full communication is their goal. Over its past decade, we would have to implement our civil registration system, regarding registration theory and technology. Today is servers born, Thai citizen and non-Thai alike. We amend our civil registration Act to requested that every citizen born in Thailand, no matter their legal status, that the right to be registration. Are we increasingly using digital technology to verify identity and expand access to essential service? Inclusion has been our top priority. We offer of stateless persons under competence students and ethnic modification, rankings, reform, and course collaboration with our Russian development partner. Our CRVS system also supports everything rankings framework, includes this recent regards of same-sex and marriage by ensuring recall and access to migrant registration with the strong efforts of the Ministerial of Public Health. We can also roll out the electronic medical death certificates nationwide. Market registration more investment and improvement the increase of cost of death of data. Thailand communities is strengthens its civil registration as a backbone of on the digital public infrastructure. Our integrated system, anchor this 13 digital person identification number, enable as real-time data share and improvement access to public service, include the health coverage and service for non-Thai citizens. By
The distinguished delegate from Thailand, please wrap up.
By using digital identity vehicles as being at the levels or more, including in digital ISO60. We know its loads ahead or long, but it's withdrawal, which the COVID predicate more this not is decaying this of registration service and this of the efforts now intake and improvement forces in our time. We thank ESCAP for its work to monitoring and registration
The delegate
progression.
from Thailand, please wrap up.
Yeah. The request of vehicles complete in complete for sorry. We are
Thank you, Thailand.
Thank you very much.
The next speaker is Bangladesh, to be followed by Bhutan.
Honorable
Bangladesh,
Chair,
you have the floor.
Distinguished delegates, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I extend my sincere appreciation to UNHCR and partner agencies for organizing this significant event. In alignment with the vision of CRVS decade, Bangladesh has undertaken comprehensive initiatives to establish universal civil registration. While we have achieved sustainable progress, we recognize that some challenges still persist. Bangladesh has made strong institutional and legal advancement. It has introduced several reforms to enhance system efficiency and inclusivity. One notable achievement is the introduction of the unique identification system, which is central to our integrated service delivery platform and links civil registration to social protection and other services. During this decade, we introduced the Bangladesh Digital registration information system that is called the BDRIS, which have been instrumental in significantly enhancing the registration of births and deaths nationwide. BDRIS has played a crucial role in strengthening the civil registration infrastructure and advancing progress towards universal CRBS coverage. Madam Chair, Bangladesh has successfully integrated civil registration with key services such as school enrollment, social protection, and financial inclusion, significantly boosting birth registration rates. Given the critical importance of the birth registration, we are actively considering making it a mandatory prerequisite for immunization. With immunization coverage at 100% in Bangladesh, linking it to birth registration would substantially enhance registration rate. Madam Chair, looking ahead, Bangladesh has identified key strategic priorities to address the challenges. Key point, legal and policy reform, capacity building, digital transformation, equity and inclusion, and partnership. Our efforts are rooted in the belief that civil registration is cornerstone to upholding human rights, delivering public services, and ensuring that no one is left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bangladesh. The next speaker is Bhutan, to be followed by Papua New Guinea. Bhutan, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Excellencies and distinguished delegates, I am pleased to share Bhutan's progress in strengthening civil registration and vital statistics. Since the launch of the CRVS decade, our achievements are anchored in three pillars: strong political commitment, effective collaboration, and digital transformation. With support from ESCAP, WHO, and other partners, and after a series of CRVS assessments, Bhutan developed its first multi-sectoral National Strategic Action Plan for CRVS. This is guided by a whole-of-government approach with a strong governance mechanism. The action plan provides a clear map for reform and investment. Digital transformation has been central to our progress. The Integrated Citizenship Services, known as ICS platform, powered by the National Digital Identity, NDI, enables smartphone-based registration of births and deaths, improving access to services, benefiting even the most remote communities. In the health sector, Bhutan is at the forefront in fully transitioning to ICD-11 through the rollout of the Electronic Patient Information System, known as EPIS. This system captures an individual's health data from birth to death, enhancing the accuracy and timeliness of vital event reporting. We have also recently launched the Annual Household Health Surveillance, AHS, as a strategic initiative to strengthen primary health care and improve the quality of vital statistics. The annual vital statistics reports reinforce data-driven planning and policy making. It was critical for Bhutan's achievement of high vaccination coverage, even during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, limited digital public infrastructure and technical capacities, including limitations in data use for policy and planning, continue to constrain progress. Nonetheless, Bhutan remains fully committed to building a CRVS system that is inclusive, responsive, and resilient. We welcome the extension of the CRVS decade to 2030 and express our strong support for the shared endeavor. Rashid Delegate, and thank you.
Thank you, Bhutan. The next speaker is Papua New Guinea, to be followed by Pakistan. Papua New Guinea, you have the floor.
Honorable Ministers, distinguished delegates, development partners, and all protocols observed. On behalf of the government of Papua New Guinea, it is my honor to share our journey over the past decade. As early as 2012, the government of Papua New Guinea made a decisive call to restructure the entire CRVS framework. In 2014, an amendment to the Civil Registration Act 1963 was introduced, which onboarded the National ID Project and elevated the civil registry to a standalone agency structure, providing it with administrative and financial leverage to prioritize birth and death registration in the country. Through the NID project, the operations of the civil registry were deployed across all provinces, with 17 out of 22 provinces having a fixed office set up. Since the project's inception in 2015, A total of 3.7 million beds have been registered and over 2 million records have been issued, with 30% of those records pertaining to children. The reforms to the civil registry include the following. Administrative reforms. In 2017, the civil registry was elevated from a division under the Department of Community Development to a standalone agency. In January 2014, the government, in its wisdom, established the Ministry of Administrative Services and consolidated all data collecting agencies under one ministry. This move further aligned the efforts of all stakeholders on the civil registration and identity and vital statistics space. The enactment of Civil Registration Act 1963 allowed the collection of biometrics with birth registration details. Interagency collaboration and data integration continue to be a challenge. As an effort to open up siloed systems, the Civil Registration Act 2024 was launched with an emphasis placed on data sharing. This marks the launch of our modernization efforts to enhance current policy and regulatory frameworks related to our civil identity and vital statistics data, ensuring the creation of a sustainable and integrated ecosystem that is supported, operationalized, and put to beneficial use by all stakeholders involved, and more importantly, by our people. Since 2015, we have decentralized birth and national ID operations to all 22 provinces. We have fixed office setups with a significant improvement in service delivery in a country of almost 10 million. Through the use of mobile registration units, we are extending our services from provincial cities to unreached remote and rural communities, thereby increasing birth registration for 70% of our people who have never been recorded in their family lineage. We have established partnership with hospitals and clinics to enable real-time reporting of births and deaths, which is vital for maternal and child health interventions. We have also increased partnerships with other stakeholders to increase the registration rates. Since 2015, we have also improved our paper-based and analog system to a web-based digital registration population management platform, including the civil and identity registration system and the electronic health information systems. Our ongoing challenges remain in geographic barriers, education awareness, resource gaps, and cultural and linguistic barriers. Our mission in the next decade will be focused on connecting silos, uniting Papua New Guinea through identity and one future. Madam Chair, Papua New Guinea remains committed to SDG 16.9. We must ensure everyone in our region is legally recognized to leave no one behind. Thank you.
Thank you, Papua New Guinea. The next speaker is Pakistan, to be followed by Indonesia. Pakistan, you have the floor now.
Thanks, Chair. Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is a great honor for me to participate in the third Ministerial Conference on CRVS, a vital platform for reflecting on our collective journey over the past decade under the regional initiative Getting Everyone in the Picture. We acknowledge and commend the efforts of UNESCAP, UNFPA, and UNICEF and all development partners. Over the past decade, Pakistan has made significant progress in modernizing its civil registration and vital statistics ecosystem, with NADRA playing a central role in digitization and legal identity management. NADRA has successfully registered over 97% of Pakistan's adult population through a secure and multi-biometric empowered computerized national identity card. Madam Chair, every citizen's legal identity is now digitally linked to registration events, making Pakistan's global leader in legal identity coverage. NADRA is serving to the third largest demographic segments of the world by assisting government of Nigeria, Sudan, Somalia, and Kenya. Through collaboration with the local government's development partners, NADRA has helped digitize birth, death, marriages, and divorce registration services in over 165 districts. Mobile registration units have been introduced to serve remote and underserved areas. Pakistan has developed and implemented integrated CRMS that connects local union council, hospitals, and NADRA's central database to ensure timely registration of births, deaths, marriages, and divorces. Efforts are underway to utilize CRVS data in national planning, health surveillance, and population projection in collaboration with Planning Commission of Pakistan, federal, provincial health departments, and local governments. CRVS is now seen as a critical enabler for social protection, education, and vaccination programs. Madam Chair, Pakistan does face several challenges. Also, incomplete death registration, particularly in rural areas and informal settlements, inadequate cause of death data due to limited medical certification capacity, need for interoperability between registration health and statistical systems, disparities in registration based on geographic, gender, and socioeconomic statistics. Our future roadmap is aligned with the SDGs targets 2030. Pakistan has developed CRV's inception plan, and its implementation has been started with the involvement of all key stakeholders. In future planning of integrated CRVS with the sample registration system of National Institute of Health for coverage of community reporting, birth, death notification, and registration tool have been developed. After a decade of striving to get everyone in the picture, we have much too proud of millions brought into the fold of identity, services made more accessible, and data system transformed to serve the people. Yet the journey also revealed critical challenges, reaching the last mile, safeguard data, and sustain inclusive reforms. As we look ahead, our commitment must go beyond registration. We must ensure that every identity leads to dignity, every record enables opportunity, and no one slips back into invisibility. Thanks.
Thank you, Pakistan. The next speaker is Indonesia, to be followed by Russian Federation. Indonesia, you have the floor now.
Madam Chairman and distinguished delegates, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Indonesia, and in my capacity as the representative of the Ministry of Home Affairs, specifically and Directorate General of Population and Civil Registration, I would like to express our appreciation for the convening of the Third Ministerial Conference of Civil Registration and Vital Statistics, organized by the UNHCR. Indonesia reaffirmed its strong commitment to the goals of the CRVS decade in Asia and the Pacific. Over the past 10 years, the Directorate General of Population and Civil Registration of the Ministry of Home Affairs has been at the forefront of transforming civil registration services to ensure that no one is left behind. First, in terms of achievement, Indonesia has made significant progress. As of 2024, birth certificate coverage for children under the age of 18 has reached 98.35%. Every child registered is immediately assigned a single identity number in ESCAP linked to the birth certificate, providing lifelong legal identity and serving as a key to accessing various public services. Over 284 million population records have been digitized and securely stored in centralized national database called the Population Administration Information System, or SIAC. Digital transformation has been implemented in population administration services, including online services, electronic signatures, a real-time integrated national database, the development of digital ID, or IKID, as a digital version of the electronic ID card, KTPL, and mobile outreach services reaching villages and remote areas. The utilization of population data has been established with more than 7,000 user institutions, such as the Statistics Bureau, banking sector, education, election, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Social Affairs, insurance, financing agencies, and other supporting public services, development planning, budget allocation, democracy, social protection, and law enforcement. Second, Indonesia places inclusion as a top priority. All residents, without exception, are entitled to equal access to civil registration services. We have implemented special outreach program integrated services targeting persons with disabilities, elderly and individuals with permanent illness, remote indigenous communities, population in border areas and 3 regions. Looking ahead, Indonesia remains committed to continuing digital innovation to make CRVS services more accessible, inclusive, and proactive, strengthening cross-sectoral integration to support data interoperability, and most importantly, ensuring that every vital event is recorded, every person is visible, and no one is left behind. With that, I conclude my statement. Thank you very much for your great attention. It was a pleasure to be here today.
Thank you, Indonesia. The next speaker is Russian Federation, to be followed by Iran. Russian Federation, you have the floor now.
Уважаемый господин председатель, уважаемые участники конференции, Российская Федерация придает большое значение сотрудничеству под эгидой ESCAP по статистической проблематике и вопросам регистрации актов гражданского состояния. Отмечаем значительный прогресс, достигнутый после начала десятилетия регистрации актов гражданского состояния и статистики естественного движения населения в Азиатско-Тихоокеанском регионе, что стало возможным благодаря поддержанию рабочего взаимодействия между заинтересованными профильными службами государств-членов и работе секретариата комиссии по сбору и распространению передового опыта в этой сфере. Полагаем, что в дальнейшей работе на этом направлении важно сделать особый акцент на оказании содействия странам-членам в создании и развитии гибких, устойчивых к потрясениям системам регистрации актов гражданского состояния. Такие системы могут предоставлять данные почти для трети показателей целей устойчивого развития. В этой связи видим добавленную стоимость продления упомянутого десятилетия до 2030 года, что позволит закрепить и приумножить достигнутые результаты и согласовать поставленные цели установками повестки 2030. Выделяем ключевую роль цифровизации и продвижения современных методов работы в упомянутых выше сферах. При этом подчеркнем, при развитии электронных сервисов особое внимание должно уделяться вопросам создания надежной цифровой инфраструктуры и обеспечения безопасности персональных данных. Несколько слов о российском опыте модернизации систем ЗАГС и сбора анализа данных статистики естественного движения населения. Уже несколько лет в нашей стране функционирует единый государственный реестр актов гражданского состояния, содержащий в электронном виде все записи актов с 1926 года. На данный момент в нем содержится более 560 миллионов записей, регулярно проводятся мероприятия по проверке и повышению качества внесенных в него данных. Особенно отметим, органы ЗАГС в Российской Федерации работают по экстерриториальному принципу. Для регистрации актов гражданского состояния жители нашей страны могут обратиться в любой такой орган вне зависимости от места фактического нахождения, что с одной стороны исключительно удобно гражданам нашей страны, а с другой существенно улучшает охват и качество работы на треке ЗАГС. Активно развиваем так называемые суперсервисы государственных услуг, комплексные услуги, сгруппированные по типовым жизненным ситуациям, в том числе такие электронные сервисы, как рождение ребенка и утрата близкого человека. Использование цифровых технологий позволяет свести к минимуму необходимость личного посещения органов регистрации актов гражданского состояния и сделать систему регистрации актов более доступной и инклюзивной. Уважаемые дамы и господа, различного рода вызовы и их последствия, с которыми сталкивается наш регион, а также стоящие перед ними общие задачи в контексте выполнения повестки 2030, делают особо актуальным развитие сотрудничества в области регистрации актов гражданского состояния и статистики естественного движения населения, сфер в прямом смысле пронизывающих всю нашу жизнь. Российская Федерация готова продолжать последовательно наращивать взаимодействие со странами-членами комиссии в этих областях, делиться своим опытом и вносить свой вклад в создание системы подлинно всеобщей регистрации актов гражданского состояния и точной, полной актуальной статистики естественного движения населения с соблюдением всех общепризнанных прав человека. Благодарю за внимание.
Thank you, Russian Federation. The next speaker is Iran, to be followed by Azerbaijan. Iran, you have the floor now.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, the Islamic Republic of Iran condemns in the strongest possible terms the United States' brutal military aggression in collusion with the genocidal Israeli regime against the Islamic Republic of Iran. This brutal military aggression once again laid bare the depth of depravity that governs American foreign policy and revealed the extent of hostility harbored by the U.S. against the peace-seeking and independence-loving people of Iran. The Zionist regime's deliberate, brutal, and unlawful attacks on civil population, hospitals, and healthcare facilities within our sovereign territory constitute a grave and unprecedented violation of the fundamental principles of the Charter of the United Nations and international law and international humanitarian law. As of June 22, these abhorrent assaults have resulted in the tragic loss of innocent civilian lives, including women and children, and a number of hospitals, medical staff, as well as medical and relief forces of Iranian Red Crescent societies. Additionally, more than 3,000 civilians were injured. In light of these grave violations, as a founding member of the United Nations, the Islamic Republic of Iran called on the UNHCR and its responsible member states to fulfill their responsibilities to strongly and unequivocally condemns this deliberate act of aggression of Zionist regime of Israel on civilians, healthcare facilities, critical civilian infrastructures, and peaceful nuclear facilities, as well as the U.S. act of military aggression. Failure to respond decisively to these blatant violations severely undermines the international legal order and threatens global peace and security. The Islamic Republic of Iran reiterates its firm commitment to the rule of international law and the Charter of United Nations, in which threat of use of force and use of force against national sovereignty and territorial integrity of UN member states is prohibited, and call upon the international community to fulfill its legal and moral obligation. Madam Chair, as far as the civil registration and vital statistics are concerned, on behalf of the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran, I am pleased to participate in this conference to ensure no country and no one left behind. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the Kingdom of Thailand, the Secretariat, for the excellent arrangements for the third ministerial conference. Reliable information on vital events to enable the production of timely and accurate population estimates and other demographic and health statistics contribute to more effective planning, efficient resource allocations, and accurate evaluation and monitoring. The Islamic Republic of Iran underscores the multilateral collaboration for the CRV system, especially in the current international economic environment.
Iran, please wrap up.
Madam Chair, distinguished delegates, the Islamic Republic of Iran appreciates the opportunity to work with the ESCAP on multilateral solution to the common challenge in CRV systems, reducing the pair of migrants and refugees, ensuring children access to education, and empowering mothers are all part of the shared vision. The Islamic Republic of Iran is pledged to work with ESCAP to encourage effective partnerships and utilizing CRV systems. I thank you.
Thank you, Ira. The next speaker is Azerbaijan, to be followed by Japan. Azerbaijan, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, on behalf of the Republic of Azerbaijan, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to UNESCAP and all partners for convening this pivotal conference. A decade has passed since 2014 Ministerial Declaration, yet everyone in the picture set a bold and inclusive vision for civil registration and vital statistics system in the region. Azerbaijan reaffirmed its strong commitment to this shared vision, to the regional action framework, and to renewed pledges made in 2021 declaration. In these 10 years, Azerbaijan has made significant strides in advancing SRVS system, recognizing them as a fundamental and legally identity, social protection, inclusive governance, and substantial development. Among our key achievements, we have fully digitalized civil registration process, streamlining service delivery, and improving accessibility. Integration between CRVS national ID system and health sector data has significantly enhanced interoperability and data accuracy. Legal reform have ensured the universal, continuous, and compulsory registration of births and deaths aligned with international principles. And we have strengthened our capacity for registration personnel, particularly at the local level, through targeted training and digital tools. Today, civil registration in Azerbaijan is carried out by the Ministry of Justice through its network of regional services and Asan Service Center, as well as by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs through our diplomatic missions. All processes are managed via centralized Civil Status Act information system, ensuring real-time and secure registration, including for citizens abroad. Furthermore, our state population register play a vital role in linking CRVS data with identity management, enabling efficient public service, delivering and improving demographic data for evidence-based policymaking. We are proud that birth registration coverage remains nearly universal,
We also acknowledge that death registration and cause of death will improving through cooperation with health sector require continued attention and modernization. Despite progress, challenge persists. Ensuring timely registration in remote areas, changing public awareness about the importance of SRVS, and further integrating cause of death data remain key priorities. Looking ahead, Azerbaijan is committed to accelerate implementation of regional action framework through the Goal 2030. We are aligning our national policy with the SDG Special Target 16.9 on legal identity for all. We value regional solidarity and welcome continued collaboration to share lessons, address common challenge, and ensure that no one is left behind. In closing, dear delegates, Azerbaijan stands ready to work hand in hand with all partners to build a resilient, inclusive, and future-ready SRVS system for every individual everywhere. I thank you all.
Thank you, Azerbaijan. The next speaker is Japan.
Thank you, Chair. Since 1872, the registration of birth and death has been mandated by the Family Register Act in Japan, and vital statistics began to take shape in 1899. Initially, the Cabinet Statistics Bureau managed these records. However, after World War II, it became in charge of the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Health and Welfare to ensure the statistics were effectively used in health policies. This practice continues up to today. Families or responsible individuals report all birth, deaths, stillbirth, marriages, and divorces to their local municipality offices. This data is then transmitted to the national level at the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare, which publishes preliminary reports in 2 months, then 5 months later, with the final report released in September of the following year. The reporting system was digitized starting in 2013, achieving near full coverage by 2018. While the number of births is decreasing, the number of deaths is increasing, reaching 1.6 million annually. Consequently, coding cause of death has become a challenging task. Nevertheless, Japan is currently preparing for the implementation of ICD-11, planned for 2027. The use of digital data, particularly in the health sector, is a significant focus in Japan. To better understand the process towards death and further reduce mortality in the world's most aged country, cause of death information has been linked with health insurance claim data since last year. Japan is committed to its long-standing practice of ensuring full coverage, high-quality data production, and timely, publicly available publications. We welcome the extension of the CLVS decade to 2030, and we hope the regional cooperation will continue and deepen. The Statistical Institute for Asia and the Pacific, SIAP, located in Chiba, Japan, serves as a cornerstone of this cooperation, actively promoting CLVS applied research training, CART. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Japan. The next speaker is United States of America. United States of America, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you to all delegates for their participation in this exciting week focused on civil registration and vital statistics, which we've heard repeatedly this morning is essential to progress and development for all throughout the region. I wanted to take a moment to reject the gross mischaracterization of remarks by the led by the Iranian delegate on the United States. I will note we are at a sensitive moment of diplomacy between the United States, Iran, and Israel, and so I will keep my remarks very short and very brief. Suffice it to say, this is not the proper forum to address the issues that the Iranian delegate raised. There are fora in New York where there is a meeting, in fact, today scheduled for this issue. And so I would encourage the Iranian delegation and all delegations to focus on what we came here to focus on, which is on civil registration and vital statistics, which we've heard is important and essential, and for which we are pleased to join the ministerial statement later this week. I will cut my remarks there, and thank you to the chair for the time.
Thank you, United States of America. We have now reached the end of the statements by members and associate members of the Commission. As we still have some time, I would like to now open the floor to observers, United Nations bodies, international organizations, and non-governmental organizations in that order. So the next speaker is Northern Mariana Islands, to be followed by Cook Islands. Northern Mariana Islands, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hafade, Jantiro, good morning, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and partners. It is an honor and my pleasure that I deliver the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, CNMI, statement on our achievements and challenges after a decade of getting everyone in the picture. Over the past decade, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, CNMI, has achieved near complete registration of births and deaths, marking significant progress in ensuring that every event is counted. However, we acknowledge that there is still work to be done in improving data quality, timeliness, and the use of data. We have fully implemented an electronic vital registration system, transitioning from manual processes to secure digital platforms that improve speed, accuracy, and accessibility of vital registration services. The Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, CNMI, also implemented an online medical certificate of cause of death, MCCD, in our EHR, electronic health record system. We continue to strengthen our technical capacity in collaboration with our valued partners such as SPC, NAPSIS, ASTO, and NCHS. Sizu Usmasi, Giliso, thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Northern Mariana Islands. The next speaker is Cook Islands, to be followed by New. Cook Islands, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, and colleagues around the table, kia ora. It is a privilege to address this ministerial conference and to join colleagues from across the Asia-Pacific in reflecting on our shared progress on civil registration and vital statistics over the past decade. I wish to acknowledge and commend the collective efforts of all countries represented here, particularly our fellow Pacific Island nations, for the strides made in improving birth and death registration systems. These are not just administrative achievements, they represent meaningful progress in ensuring that every individual is counted, protected, and empowered through legal identity. I would also like to take this opportunity to express our sincere appreciation to our development partners. In this instance, the Pacific Community, SPC, and Bloomberg Philanthropies through the Data for Health Initiative, whose technical and financial assistance has been instrumental in all our efforts. Without their sustained support, key achievements such as digitalization of our CRVS system might still remain aspirational. In line with Cook Islands' foreign policy priorities, particularly our commitment to regional solidarity, digital innovation, inclusive development, and strong partnership, we view the continued strengthening of CRVS systems as a cornerstone of good governance. It is our firm belief that robust data systems must serve all people equally, especially those in remote and vulnerable communities. To this end, we reaffirm our commitment to the CRVS decade and to the shared vision of leaving no one behind. The Cook Islands is proud to report that we have achieved full registration of births and that over 90% are registered within 14 days of notification from the maternity ward at the Rarotongan Hospital. We are also pleased to report that death registration, including cause of death where medically applicable, are completed within 1 year. These are critical milestones that strengthen the integrity and reliability of our vital statistic system. Nonetheless, challenges remain. Chief among these is the current manual process of data sharing amongst agencies involved in CRVS. This approach not only time-consuming, but also prone to duplication and delays. We recognize the urgent need to automate and streamline interagency data flows to enhance efficiency, accuracy, and responsiveness. The Cook Islands has invested in the development of a comprehensive online digital platform, OpenCRVS, that will support the registration of all vital events. We are targeting a national rollout by December 2025, and we anticipate that this innovation will significantly reduce the need for physical documentation and improve the speed of information exchange between government departments.
The delegate from Cook Islands, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In closing, the Cook Islands remains fully committed to the goals of CRVS decade and will continue to work diligently alongside regional and international partners to strengthen the system that protect the rights and identities of all our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Cook Islands. The next speaker is New, to be followed by Vital Strategies. New, you have the floor.
To the Chairperson, Under-Secretary General of the United Nations and Executive Secretary of ESCAP, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is an honor to be present at this historic event, marking a decade of progress in CRVS, especially for Niue and our Pacific region. Congratulations to all countries who have elevated CRVS globally. In November 2023, Niue became the first country in the world to implement a national ECRVS system, connecting our Civil Registry, Health Department, and Statistics Office. We are truly blessed to have received support from SPC, Bloomberg Philanthropies, OpenCRVS, ESCAP, Pacific CRVS, Plan International, and Vital Strategies to enable this historic paperless, cloud-based transition. Thanks to OpenCRVS and our partners, we now provide faster, more secure, and accessible services to our people. Importantly, the preservation of our BDM records, our treasured taonga, our genealogy history for our cultural practice that binds us to our lands of our ancestors is now assured. Through the Niue GCP Gender Project, we are digitizing over 16,000 historic records with a goal to complete 5,000 birth and death records by August 2025. We are also digitizing marriages, divorces, name changes, and adoptions, enabling stronger analysis and trend reporting from our Statistics Office. Niue recognizes that digital infrastructure, interdepartmental cooperation, indigenous data sovereignty, and financial sustainability are all critical. We continue to navigate these challenges and remain grateful for partner support to build a resilient, inclusive CRVS system. As a small island state, Niue reaffirms its full commitment to the Ministerial Decade on CRVS and to achieving universal responsive systems. Please do visit Shez and Ewan at the OpenCRVS booth to learn more about Niue's journey.
Thank you, New. The next speaker is Vital Strategies. Vital Strategies, you may take the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to represent Vital Strategies, a global public health organization. As part of the Bloomberg Philanthropies Data for Health initiative, we work in partnerships with national governments, regional bodies to strengthen civil registration and vital statistics systems. We are pleased to join you in reflecting on the significant strides made during the Asia-Pacific CRVS decade. Today, we acknowledge how far we've come, but how much more we must still achieve. Over the past 10 years, countries across Asia and the Pacific have made commendable progress in improving birth and death registration completeness, cause of death data, and vital statistics reporting. These achievements are a product of commitment, collaboration, and investment at all levels of government. Vital Strategies has been privileged to support CRVS system strengthening in many countries across the region, including Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Thailand, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. Working closely with national governments, we've supported the redesign of CRVS business processes, the adoption of international ICD standards, and through our collaboration with other Data for Health partners, supported legal reviews, digital systems development, and capacity building. The Data to Policy and Counting Everyone campaigns have further empowered governments to use CRVS data for inclusive public health decision-making. Despite remarkable progress, ESCAP's review rightly notes that challenges persist. Millions of children remain unregistered, especially among marginalized populations. Cause of death data remains incomplete and unreliable in many settings. Disparities in registration completeness and quality between and within countries remain. Resilience in CRVS systems has been exposed as a gap. These limitations affect not only the accuracy of national statistics, but have a profound impact on individuals who remain legally invisible and may struggle to access services. Looking ahead, we encourage all governments and development partners to reaffirm their political commitment to inclusive CRVS systems that provide a legal identity for all, strengthen coordination across civil registration, health and statistics sectors, explore innovative approaches to capture data, in particular on deaths occurring in communities, prioritize equity by identifying and addressing the barriers faced by vulnerable populations to register vital events, and ensure that CRVS becomes a key component of the emerging digital public infrastructures, and that civil registration is closely linked to ID systems. We thank ESCAP and the Regional Steering Group for their leadership, and we commend all member states for their tireless efforts to make the CRVS decade a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Vital Strategies. Thank you for your interventions. Are there any other delegates who wish to take the floor on this agenda item at this time? I see none. This brings us to the end of the conclusion of agenda item 2. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as we finish all the interventions under this agenda item, we shall reconvene this conference room at 15 hours for agenda item 3. Building resilient and inclusive civil registration and vital statistics systems in support of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the panel on building resilient civil registration and vital statistics systems in an era of crisis. I will now hand over to the Secretariat for a few housekeeping announcements before we adjourn our meeting.
Thank you, Chair. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, as part of the third Ministerial Conference on Civil Registration and Vital Statistics in Asia and the Pacific, we have several associated events. One of these is a masterclass on data-centered leadership for senior CRVS managers to be held in meeting room F here on Friday. For more information, please scan the QR code now shown on the screen. A few places are still available for this training. If you're interested, please register online through our conference website or speak with your liaison officer, who will be happy to help you. We will soon break for lunch. During the lunch break, a series of side events have been organized to complement the main sessions and provide deeper insights into specific topics related to CRVS. These side events bring together a wide range of stakeholders, including governments, development partners, and civil society, to share innovative practices, country experiences, and collaborative solutions that support inclusive and resilient CRVS systems. Today, from 12:45 to 13:45, we have 3 side events scheduled as shown on the screen. In meeting room A, There will be the side event on accelerating CRVS digitalization towards inclusive ID systems, organized by Vital Strategies and UNDP. The side event on children and youth in the picture, barriers and solutions to future-proofing CRVS systems, will take place in Meeting Room H and is organized by the Child Rights Coalition Asia and World Vision International. Lastly, the side event on getting intersex in the picture, ensuring intersex inclusion in CRVS mechanisms, organized by Intersex Philippines, Campaign for Change Nepal, and Interaction Australia, will take place in Meeting Room G. You can find these meeting rooms on level 1 of the UN Conference Centre. This means 1 floor down from here. A variety of lunch options are available in the building, including the International Cafeteria and Coffee Corner on level 1 of the Conference Centre, the Rajapurik Lounge on the ground floor of the Conference Centre, and the Thai Canteen on the ground floor of the service building. You can find more information about each side event on the conference website or through the QR code shown on the screen. We'll also show information about these events on the screen during the break. While you're on break, we also encourage you to visit the exhibition space where our partners are showcasing their work. And that's a great opportunity to explore, connect, and capture a few photos along the way. Thank you, and we hope to see you at the side events.
Thank you, Secretariat. We shall reconvene in this conference room at 15 hours for agenda item 3, building resilient and inclusive civil registration and vital statistics systems in support of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The meeting is adjourned.